explore it? Who will celebrate it? Who will change the world and change themselves in the process? You will. This is the University of Oregon.
Hey, University of Oregon Ducks fans, welcome to the 2012 season. Oregon Ducks sports are officially underway, so let's break down all that's happened and everything that's coming. On Sunday, the Oregon Ducks soccer team got their season started at the new soccer lacrosse field over by Autzen Stadium. They christened the new field with a 2-0 victory over UAB. Freshman Kristen Parr made her debut in grand style, scoring 2 goals. So congrats to our Oregon Ducks soccer team, getting the season started off right. Soccer is not the only sport underway right now. Volleyball wrapped up their preseason this past weekend, and they're now headed out to Columbus, Ohio to play Toledo, Houston, and Ohio State in the Sports Impact Classic. That starts next Friday, August 24th. Then, of course, all the talk is about Saturday, September 1st. That is, of course, the Pier Park Invitational, the opening event of the cross-country season. Oh, and I think there's a football game or something happening that day, too. Yes, Arkansas State is now less than 2 weeks away. No Michael Dyer anymore. He was dismissed from that team, but there's still tickets available, largely because 1, students are not on campus yet, and 2, while most visiting teams usually get a 2,000 to 3,000 ticket allotment for their fans, Arkansas State is only drawing 200 to 300. So that's meaning there is a surplus of tickets. In fact, this game might not sell out. They want you there. So if you ever thought, oh, I'd love to go to a game, but it's too expensive, I can never afford it, I can never find a ticket, this is your opportunity. Arkansas State, go check. There's tickets still available. The university wants the stands filled. It would be a really sad postscript if the 82-game consecutive home sellout streak ended. How tragic would that be? The first game after the first Rose Bowl victory in 95 years. So, come on fans, get out there, get your tickets, show your support for our Ducks. The students did their part. The student season tickets went on sale and sold out in 10 minutes flat. So way to go, students. Be loud and be proud. There are, of course, some things that you need to remember about game days for those of you who are attending. First of all, this is probably going to be the single worst year ever for parking at Autzen Stadium. The reason being the ongoing construction with the Casanova Center, as well as the new soccer and lacrosse facility. Demand for passes means that parking will be at an absolute premium, so consider alternate means of getting to Autzen. Park on campus and walk the footbridge, or use LTD's park and ride service, or look into spots available at the Boy Scout Lodge or the Mason Lodge, but plan in advance where you're going to park. And that goes with tailgating as well. Remember, folks, you are permitted to consume alcohol before the game as well as during the game, but not afterwards. So if you're drinking, 1, be sure to get a designated driver, and 2, do all your drinking before and during the game, not afterwards. Well, not drinking during in the stands, but if you're one of those people that chooses to leave at halftime, you can do so. But after the game, alcohol is cut off. And of course, the other option is the Mo Center. You can go in there, buy food, get drinks, watch games on multiple TVs. Usually the band is there, the cheerleaders, the team will do their march to victory. The one thing to remember about the Mo, if you go in, make sure that you get a hand stamp when you leave. That hand stamp will not only allow you to get back into the Mo later, but that hand stamp also gets you into the stadium. So your ticket, once it's scanned to go into the Mo, is no longer valid. You have to get that hand stamp. So don't make this mistake I made of going into the Mo and then leaving and not getting the stamp. I almost did not get into a game after traveling 1,000 miles. So make sure you get the hand stamp if you're going to go to the Mo. Now, in addition to the Mo or tailgating, the university has also set up designated tailgating spots. It's east of the stadium. If you want the hassle-free aspect to tailgating, you can reserve a tailgate area. Something new that they're offering this year. They'll have all the amenities you can want. They'll have HD TVs set up and tables and tents and everything. All you have to do is show up and enjoy. If you want more details on that or to make a reservation, go to www.tailgatepal.com. As for what's going on with the football team right now, the big news this week was that after an excused absence to start camp, tight end Colt Lyerla reported to camp. Now, there were a lot of rumors about his situation. Whatever the details were, no official information has come out, so it's all speculation. The important thing is that Colt Lyerla is back with the team and practicing at a position where there is very little depth. The team really needs him out there. Not much other news has really trickled out otherwise from practice. The team is going through things, and from what we've heard, some of the incoming freshmen, particularly Braylon Addison and Byron Marshall, have been doing an outstanding job. They've really impressed, and they may get some playing time this year. That's tremendous news. There is, however, no news on who is leading in the quarterback competition. I guess we'll find out come game day. My guess is that both will play extensively for much of the month of September until one or the other separates themselves. The same can be said about the kicking competition. Alejandro Maldonado and Rob Beard are both competing equally for the opportunity to be the field goal kicker. The other big thing this week is the official launch of the Pac-12 network. I switched from DirecTV after years of being a subscriber with satellite to Time Warner Cable this week solely so that I could get the Pac-12 network, and it's one of the best things I've done. It's everything I could have hoped for and more. I've barely changed the channel away from it. It is awesome. If you don't get it, call your cable providers. For those of you who do, make sure to follow it closely. Right now they're playing a lot of classic games, they're doing season previews, and coming soon, in addition to showing live football games, they'll be airing live volleyball and basketball and other sports. So it's just fantastic. Thank you, Pac-12 Network. Though they did actually film me, they interviewed me for about an hour a few weeks back for a broadcast they did showing the Oregon-Arizona 2009 game, the double overtime Oregon victory. I spent $11 on parking to go to the UCLA campus, got filmed, and they didn't use me for a single second. So, what's going on, Pac-12 Network? What's the deal? I mean, I realize I have a face for radio, but I didn't realize it was that bad. As for FishDuck.com, people have been asking for it for quite some time, and we have finally delivered. FishDuck merchandise. That's right. Go to the new merchandise tab on the front page and you can get access to tons of FishDuck.com swag, as well as Oregon Ducks gear too. So if you're doing some last minute shopping for Ducks gear, getting prepared for the season, please buy it through our site, as it helps us pay for all of this that we're doing with FishDuck.com. We bring you so much content for free, but it's not free for us. So it helps us out a great deal. If you're looking to shop for new Oregon jerseys or shirts or anything, go to our merch section first and go through our store to find it. And of course, if you want to rock a FishDuck shirt at the stadium on game days, not only will you be our hero, you'll be supporting the cause too. So go to the merchandise section and pick out what you want. For content this week, Charles continued his ongoing analysis of the Oregon defense, taking a very close look at the cover one schemes that are used by the Ducks, with an emphasis on the versatility and outstanding play of safety John Boyette. You can check out that video right here. And in our other weekly video series, I interviewed on Thursday Matt Evenson, a kicker at Oregon in the mid-2000s that continues today to kick the crap out of the ball, playing in Europe in the German Football League with the Berlin Rebels. He joined me direct from Berlin to talk about his days as a Duck. So check out that video by clicking right here. And this weekend, I was a guest on the CSF Radio Network, speaking with the crew from Cleveland Sports Therapy. It's an Ohio-based radio program to preview the Pac-12. The audio of that radio show is archived on our site. You can find the link on our front page or in our directory section. Our writers really delivered this week as well, with some big-time, fantastic articles worth checking out. Everything from Kim Hastings' hilarious slant on quarterback battles through the ages, to the very heartfelt and solemn personal story Brian Libby told on Sunday on letting go of a grudge against Cam Newton in the wake of his personal tragedies recently with cancer. David Mello interviewed Marco Aguiar while comparing the current quarterback situation, the Bennett-Mariota battle, with the 1997 battle that Marco blocked for throughout, Jason Moss versus Achilles Smith. And of course, don't miss Jared Young's article about incoming UO golfer Caroline Inglis and her own tragedies that she faced earlier this year. There's plenty of other content. I won't highlight every article, but please check them out. If you want to find all of our great articles, check out the directory section to catch it all, or simply sign up for our weekly newsletter by entering your email address in the box in the sidebar of FishDuck.com. And now, my random tweet of the week.
Hey, will you shut up?
Thank you.
Music recommendation time. Now, normally I've been doing a lot of new artists to introduce you to, but you know, it's getting closer to football season, and so with that, I thought I would stray away from that a little bit, exclusively looking at new artists, and instead look at music that fits perfectly for game days. Music to get you pumped up, that when you're driving to the game, you want to roll down the windows and just crank it full bore, something that's going to get your head bobbing and just get that adrenaline pumping before you go into Autzen Stadium. So with that in mind, I want to start off by looking at some game day music and pointing out a band that should definitely be a part of your rotation. They cranked up the power chords all the way with a lot of high energy live shows and blaring feedback that often resulted in them on stage lighting things on fire or vomiting or stripping naked. You know, pure unadulterated rock and roll at its most debaucherous. They're called the Unband. The Unband formed in 1988, and they were a fixture on the Boston music scene for years, fitting into underground punk and metal scenes with a sound that was like a blend between Motorhead, Kiss, and the Stooges. Just raw, loud, and crazy. They put out an album in 1996, and 4 years followed that up with their masterpiece, and unfortunately their swan song, the album Retarder, in 2000 on TVT Records. This album is just awesome. I absolutely recommend it for your tailgate parties. If you like amps that go to 11 with crunching power chords and raw energy, getting the adrenaline pumping before Autzen Stadium then cranks it to 11. The band didn't release any material after that 2000 album. They broke up after a few years of touring following that record, but it is one of those hidden gems that is absolutely worth checking out. And if you see me driving to Duck games, it's usually part of the rotation, blaring out my speakers on the roll into the parking lot. Here's my favorite song from that album. It's called Rock Hard.
If it ain't hard, you gotta make it rock hard. You gotta take it too far. You gotta rock hard. You wanna be a star. You just gotta rock hard. No matter who you are, you just gotta rock hard.
So that does it for me this week. 12 days until kickoff. Can you believe it? We are almost there. Keep checking back to FishDuck.com. We've got plenty planned for all of you. Thanks for your support. Go pick up some Ducks gear or FishDuck stuff from our merchandise section. So until next week, this is Kurt saying go fish, get hooked, go Ducks.